Here's something really weird to think about. If you kick a soccer ball on a grass field, it eventually slows down and stops. But if you kick that same ball out into deep space, where there's nothing else around it, there's no air, no friction, and no ground, it would keep going forever. So what actually is stopping the ball on Earth? And why does a bowling ball hit so much harder than a tennis ball, even at the same speed? These questions have one answer: Newton's 3 laws of motion. Welcome to Sciesmic. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 3 rules that explain almost every push, pull, crash, and launch in the universe. In 1687, Sir Isaac Newton published 3 laws that became the foundation of classical physics. The first one sounds, well, almost obvious in today's world, but until you really think about it. Newton's first law says that objects don't change what they're doing on their own. So an object at rest will remain at rest unless acted upon by an outside force. A book sitting on your desk isn't going to suddenly slide across the room, right? It's going to stay still. And a hockey puck sliding across ice would keep sliding forever if there was no friction to slow it down or a net to catch it. This tendency to resist changes in motion is called inertia. Here's where you've actually felt inertia before in your real life. So picture yourself sitting on a school bus, right? You're riding along, maybe you're on a field trip or you're on your way to school. When that bus hits the brakes hard, your body keeps moving forward. That's your inertia fighting that change in motion. The bus stopped, but, well, you didn't instantly. Maybe not right away, but that seatbelt maybe kicked in, and that provided that outside force to stop you from flying into maybe that seat in front of you. So remember, the first law is objects keep doing what they're doing unless something forces them to change. That something, though, is what physicists call a net force. Now let's jump over to Newton's second law. So we know a force is needed to change motion, but Newton's second law gets a little bit more specific. It tells us how much a force changes the motion of an object. And we have a really helpful formula to be able to do this. It's force equals mass times acceleration, written as F equals ma. This is one of the most useful equations in all of science, so let's break it down a little bit further. Force is any push or pull on an object, and we measure this in something called newtons, kind of like a nod to Sir Isaac Newton. Mass is the amount of matter in an object, and we measure this in kilograms. And acceleration is how quickly the object speeds up, slows down, or changes direction. It can be positive or negative, and we measure it in meters per second squared. Now, here's the key insight. That same force produces less acceleration on a heavier object. So think about pushing an empty shopping cart, right? That's pretty easy. Like you just got to the store, maybe you have an empty buggy, and you haven't put anything inside yet. Now try pushing one loaded with bricks or all of your groceries after mom and dad have put everything inside. That same force from you, well, now that cart is accelerating less. More mass means less acceleration for the same force. And it works the other way too. If you want more acceleration, you need more force. To knock over a bowling pin with a tennis ball, you'd have to throw it really fast to generate enough force. That's F equals ma at work. Okay, so a shopping cart is really helpful, but let's use a real example too. So let's make it as real as possible. Imagine you're pushing a box with a force of 20 newtons. The box has a mass of 4 kilograms. Well, how fast is it accelerating? Let's use our formula and see what we can do. So if we're using F equals ma, we know that 20 equals 4 times the acceleration. So we weren't given the acceleration, so we leave it as a. If we divide both sides by 4, the acceleration equals 5 meters per second squared. That box is really picking up speed pretty fast. But now double the force to 40 newtons. That same 4 kilogram box is now accelerating at 10 meters per second squared. When you double the force, you double the acceleration. Newton's second law is consistent. It's a relationship that you can actually count on, and that's why we use it all over the place. This law is why engineers care so much about the mass of rockets, cars, and even their smartphones. Every kilogram matters when you're trying to accelerate something efficiently. Next up is Newton's third law. So Newton's third law is the one that surprises people the most, and it's the one you see everywhere once you know what to look for. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Every single time one object exerts a force on another, that second object pushes back with the same amount of force, but in the opposite direction. So let's paint a picture and go through it. Picture 2 skaters on ice, with one skater pushing the other. Both skaters move away from each other, The one who pushed applied an action force. The other skater pushed back with an equal reaction force. Neither skater absorbs all the force, they share it. And this is essentially how rockets work too. The engine burns fuel and blasts exhaust gases downward, and that's your action force. The rocket is pushed upward with an equal and opposite reaction force. No ground, no wings, just Newton's third law sending a spacecraft all the way to the moon. And believe it or not, you've done this too. Maybe not necessarily flown a rocket, but if you've ever jumped out of a boat or pushed off of a wall while swimming, maybe doing a flip turn, you felt that reaction force push you in the opposite direction every single time. So here's what you've got to know. Newton's first law tells us objects resist changes in motion. That's called inertia. Newton's second law gives us the equation F equals ma, linking force, mass, and acceleration together. And then finally, Newton's third law says forces always come in equal and opposite pairs. These three laws have been tested billions of times across centuries, and they hold up every single time. From a kid on a skateboard to a spacecraft leaving Earth's atmosphere, you now understand the physics that engineers, athletes, and scientists use every single day. And if this helped you, make sure that you hit subscribe so you don't miss our next video. And drop a comment below. Which of Newton's three laws do you think is the most mind-blowing? We'd really love to know. So this is Sciesmic, and we'll see you next time.